Hello.
So I got a green screen now, I guess. Am I going to use it again? I don't think so, but I have it. I'm like Eddie Burback without the AI mustache, right? Oh, you guys are gonna hate this. Now, I don't want to go overboard and be like, oh, Chelsea are gonna win the league, right? I know that the Club World Cup isn't exactly held in the highest regard. Plus, their path to the final was a little bit easier than a lot of other opponents, but they actually made the final. Unlike, like Manchester City or Inter, they actually got to the final. And not only that, they blanked PSG, okay? They held them goalless, and then they put 3 past them, okay? They were in the form of their life, so for them to do that, for Chelsea to make that statement, is actually pretty worthwhile and worth mentioning. Not only were PSG in the form of their life, but they had a much more difficult path to the final as well, beating Real Madrid, beating Bayern Munich, not conceding against them, and by the way, they have the leading Ballon d'Or candidate in their squad, which, if you showed me that a year ago, I would have assumed it was just career mode at that point. But did Chelsea care? No, obviously not. They thoroughly dominated PSG, okay? And I mean dominated. PSG could not do a damn thing. Meanwhile, Cole Palmer had a hand in every single goal scored, and Joao Pedro scored his 3rd goal in just his 2nd start for the club. And while these Brazilian clubs maybe aren't at the level of Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, they actually show that they do have quality. So while it's maybe not the Champions League level, winning the competition is not really anything to scoff at. Now, does this mean that Chelsea are the greatest team in the world? Technically, they won the Club World Cup. I get, but even with this title, do we all really think that they are the world's greatest club? I don't really think anyone would agree that they are. However, they've been trying to fix some of their problems from last season, at least the ones that they can immediately fix. One of the biggest issues last season was their young age, and while the negatives that come with that can't really be fixed in a single summer, it can be solved with playtime and experience, something that they've managed to give to a lot of their youngsters. Now, I actually mentioned this in my video of complimenting every single Premier League club, but Chelsea's gamble from a few years ago of buying these young players and giving them like 34-year contracts are actually starting to pay off, and we saw that last season. They have the youngest squad in the league by far. Some of the players that they've bought have actually started performing extremely well, and then the ones that have been underperforming are actually getting shipped off. Players and systems are actually starting to reveal themselves at Chelsea now that that ridiculous 18-month, $1 billion extravaganza is over. But not only have many of these players started to figure out the system at Chelsea and actually become more comfortable, but they've done so by playing a significant amount of minutes at such a young age. You have Cole Palmer, who has just been that guy for Chelsea the last few seasons, maybe not the last few months, but still mostly that guy the last few years. You have Enzo Fernandez, who has just really ended the season tremendously and is going to look to carry into next season with that. You have Caicedo, who is starting to repay his transfer fee, not only by playing well, but by starting every single Premier League match. You have Levi Colwill, who is really starting to find his feet, and then you have Pedro Neto, who should perform a little bit better for next season. All of these guys are 25 years or younger with 2 years of Premier League experience, and 4 of those 5 guys have made those years of experience in the Premier League with Chelsea specifically. As for Andre Santos and Estevo, the former played a wonderful season at Strasbourg, contributing a ridiculous 15 goals in 34 matches for the club and helping them into a Conference League spot as well. The latter, while only 18 years old, is the best player on Palmeiras, a full team of legitimate grown men. And this is from the mouth of an actual Palmeiras fan, so I know what I'm talking about. And when I say that I know, I mean Brazilian Fury knows. That added experience to the youngest club in the league is always going to be a good thing, especially when it's to the young players themselves, because part of the reason why they were in a top 4 race instead of just having it secured much earlier was because of their inconsistency, most likely attributed to their young age. Now, do you want to see a prime example of that inconsistency? Well, how about the fact that they beat Liverpool, right? It's a pretty good result. They did not beat Ipswich. they lost to him as well. Like, how does that happen? While they're beginning to show signs of experience, they're still all very, very young. So thankfully for the rest of us, we hopefully still have a few years until they're at full force. And there's still a lot of gaps in their squad. Oh no, come on, no, God, no, shit. Now, one of the biggest areas that Chelsea needed to strengthen was without a doubt the striker position, because Nico Jackson is just not that guy for Chelsea. He's not really that guy in general. He is a B tier Darwin Nunez, okay? Honestly, man, like some of these misses I can at least kind of wrap my head around because, you know, everyone just has a bad day. Everyone misses a chance here and there, but like he's not taking them first time in some situations. He's actively making the situation harder for himself. He doesn't even shoot the ball here. He does not shoot the ball here. I feel like that one quote needs to be changed to, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but also the ones that you do. You know what, maybe you should pass. Like that's probably a better situation for everyone. Now, to be fair to Jackson, he wasn't the only underperformer for Chelsea. Their top 5 goal scorers all underperformed their XG, but obviously it is very different when it's your talisman, your supposed goal scorer, your out and out striker who is routinely missing chances others would bury. So in response, Chelsea went out and bought not one, but 2 strikers, Liam Delap and Joao Pedro. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure why they got Liam Delap because, like, you know, 99 pace, sure, right? That's pretty good, but at this stage, everyone has it, right? He's not anything special. Joao Pedro, on the other hand, is a Premier League experienced player who has just been tearing it up for Brighton the last couple of seasons, getting 16 goal contributions in less than 2,000 minutes of Premier League play last year, and Chelsea only got him for 110k. That's 30 for the Inform and 75 for the Evo. Just insane business for them. And by the way, Pedro is already scoring for Chelsea. 3 goals in 3 matches thus far. Now, that's probably their biggest problem solved, at least on paper, but there are still 2 massive positions that need to be filled, at least from an outsider view: center back and goalkeeper. Now, one central defender spot seems fine with Levi Colwill, but it's the other that seems up for grabs. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be Vega going for the starting role. I'm pretty sure Chelsea fans are fed up with Disasi and Badiashile at this point. Fofana has been dealt terrible injury problems, and Chalobah just seems like fine. And then in goal, you have Robert Sanchez, the Nico Jackson of goalkeepers. Throughout the season, I saw many Chelsea fans just completely writing him off, and honestly for kind of a good reason, because he played horrifically and was even benched for a few matches. But then he prevented over a goal and a half against treble winners PSG in the Club World Cup final. Now, I don't think that he's similar to Alisson without the errors, and I certainly don't think that he's a top 5 keeper in the world, but anytime he doesn't have to use his brain, it seems like he is damn good. I mean, golly, my guy, that is spectacular. Now, I don't know if Chelsea fans will want him completely gone or not, but at the very least, he'll have some competition with Petrovic, who is coming back off loan, coming off of a very good season from Strasbourg. Now, at the end of the day, the Premier League is just an absolutely wild place, right? Because you got 2 or 3 clubs every single year going for a title. You got 4 or 5 clubs after that competing for a Champions League spot. And then you got 2 or 3 clubs after that trying to get just a European spot. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a very deep league with very stiff competition, and that means clubs will need young players with experience, preferably around each other, under a consistent manager with lots of depth. Chelsea are starting to tick all of those boxes, and I don't think it'll be long until they really take off. Now, do I think Chelsea are just going to explode next season? I would say probably not, but crazier things have happened. I mean, they might just do what Arsenal did in the 22-23 season and go for an unexpected title race. Again, crazier things have happened. But you know, I sure as shit hope not, because I would bet my house that if Arsenal were involved in that title race with Chelsea, that Arsenal would somehow manage to finish second. But, you know, maybe it would be different, actually, now that Partey is gone. That's right, get the hell out of my club. Get out of my club. Rest in piss. Rest in piss, bozo.